One of the blog posts that is most visited on terrierowner.com is related to disciplining the Jack Russell Terrier, trying to figure out how to discipline them, how to go about training, and just how to get this dog, socialized and behaving in the fashion that you want. So this video, guys, is my 7 top tips that are simple but necessary to discipline your Jack Russell in the best fashion possible. Let's get it started. All right, guys, I'm gonna go in an order that makes sense based on you're coming home and you just adopted your Jack Russell. So you just got him as a puppy, and it's time to start learning the ropes on how to do this, how to discipline effectively, what you need to do. We're not going to dive into huge detail on each of my top 7, but we are going to discuss the importance of each of them. And number 1, guys, is you have to start right out of the gates. Right after you adopt your Jack Russell, right after you get home, the socialization should begin. If you have other pets in the home, they need to be around them. They need to be around all the family members. Getting them on walks or getting them involved with seeing other things that can stimulate them, like other animals, other people, vehicles, all of those things need to begin right when you get home. The sooner this starts for a puppy, like a Jack Russell, the better. They just need to get used to everything. They need to get used to routines. They need to get used to the people in the house, and they need to get used to what they can and cannot do. So my number 1 tip is just to start right away. Even if you don't know exactly what you're doing or you don't have the perfect plan set in motion, just get started. Let them start interacting and let them start learning through their environment. So assuming that you got started right away, like I just mentioned on my first tip, the number 2 tip I have for you guys is to get routined with it. So you got started, you kind of have a plan on what you want to do, but now you need to get routined and you need to stay consistent. This is huge. This means everything for this dog. Luna is so routine about everything. She knows what time to eat. She knows when exercise is going to take place. She knows when to go outside now. She just has that internal clock figured out. So the more routine you can become, the easier it's going to be for her or him to learn, to figure things out. If everything is sporadic and nothing really lines up for them, it's going to confuse them, especially when they're younger. Maybe things get a little bit out of whack with your routine later once they're a little bit older, because life does happen. That's okay. But in the beginning, getting routined and staying consistent with everything you do, feeding schedules, training, even if it's for 5-10 minutes, basic command training, exercise, them learning that routine, your lifestyle, and what you expect is huge for this dog. So now you are started. You've started the process, you started early, and you have a routine. The next thing that you have to remember with this dog, or any dog for that matter, is you have to be patient. They are going to make mistakes. They are going to test your limits. They're going to drive you insane a lot of the time. They're going to follow you everywhere. There's just a lot of things about the Jack Russell that make them unique. Like they're high energy, they're zoomies, they're prone to chew, dig, and escape a yard when they're younger. That's part of it. If you can prevent it, prevent it. If you can't and something happens, as long as they stay safe and everything's okay, have some patience, work with them, everything gets better. But without patience with this dog, you're going to be in for a really long ride. So go into the adoption knowing that you need the patience, exercise that patience, and you'll be just fine, right? My next big tip for you guys is crucial as well. This dog responds fantastic to this tip. You have to always be thinking reward, reward, reward for everything. Not scold, 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 reward. Everything that they do right, reward them. They are very driven to work, so to speak. They want to know that they are doing what you want them to do, and they look forward to that. They do things specifically for that reward. When you give them that reward, that makes them desire to get it again. So whether that's treats, love and affection, there's a lot of ways you can reward a dog. That doesn't always mean it has to be a delicious treat, even though you love those too, don't you? I think you get the point. Make sure that when they do things correctly, you're rewarding them for that and they understand that they just did something correctly. When they don't do something correctly, just move on. They don't really understand, the scolding and the corrections based on the human language. They respond to, okay, I just got something I want, it tastes good, or I got my belly rubbed and it felt good. That's what they respond to. So be sure to always reward this dog throughout the discipline process. My next one is meant for if you're kind of at the end of your limits or you're struggling. And the biggest thing I can tell you on this tip specifically is you need to mix it up. If one thing isn't working, don't be scared to try something else. Luna, for instance, responded very well to clicker training, which is just a handheld clicker with your thumb. That's how she learned to do the basics like sit and lay down. Some dogs don't need the clicker training, and some dogs respond well to it. It depends on your personality, how you interact with it, how fun you make it, and of course on the dog themselves and their personality. If one thing isn't working, with potty training, if it's not working to put a bell on the door, try something else. Try more frequent trips outside on a leash followed by a treat. Don't be scared to change it just because you've started with something. Failure can happen for you and the dog during this process, and if you don't mix it up, you and might not ever find the method that works the best for you and your Jack Russell. So mix it up. My next one, guys, might be the most important tip on this entire list, and we've discussed it probably at least 100 times on this channel, but it is exercise. The disciplining process, the training process, even the socialization process with this dog is never going to peak or be what it could be if you never provide exercise. I don't care if you have a backyard where they can do their zoomies and that's how they get it. If you have to take them on walks, that's fine. Or if you need to go to a dog park, that's fine too. The point is, I don't care what kind of exercise they get as long as they get some, because if they don't have a way to burn off energy, they can't stay as focused, they can't stay as attentive to what's happening, and they're just a wild dog without exercise. They have to have that ability. It's not their fault. It is built into their DNA to be like this. So if you don't provide it, that failure is on you. Make sure that this dog is getting the exercise they need. Again, outside is fine, even without you, as long as there's space to do it. Make sure they get what they need, and that is part of the entire process if you want to succeed with this dog. On top of that, guys, you gotta keep at it. Again, this is kind of like the mix it up tip. They are going to test you. They are going to frustrate you in the beginning. She frustrated me all the time. You need to adjust your collar too, by the way. She frustrated me. I'm okay with saying that. Dogs can frustrate you. They can be a pain in the rear sometimes. You're gonna get frustrated. You have to keep at it. The second you start kind of breaking away from your tendencies or letting them win, so to speak, and not caring about the discipline, is when it's all going to go downhill for you. So keep at it. Expect some failures. Exercise the patience when it happens. Mix it up if it's not going well, and stay consistent and you'll be fine. If you stick to just these 7 tips, even though we didn't go fully in depth on all of them, you're gonna have a very good base once you adopt your Jack Russell on what you need to do and the mindset that you should have throughout the process. You know, your mood can easily be felt and sensed by this dog. She just knows, like, when you're in a bad mood, whenever you're in an enthusiastic mood. If you're bringing that energy into everything you try and do with this dog, nothing's going to work. So let it go, be patient, mix it up, and you're gonna be in good shape. This is one of those topics where there has to be people out there watching that are way more educated on this, even than myself, even though I own the dog, even though I've been through it. Those are people that we would greatly appreciate the comments from, or if you just adopted a dog, what are the struggles you're going through? What problems with discipline are you having? We would love to hear those comments, so be sure to drop those down below for us. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, be sure to do so now. That helps us out dramatically, in addition to the thumbs up that we always ask for, guys. That's the most important thing you can do for this channel, is subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Don't forget, you can check out the community tab if you want to donate Luna some treats for 99 cents. You can either click the join button or navigate to the community tab on this channel. And don't forget to turn on that notification bell so you are notified every Sunday at 11 a.m. when our new videos come out. That way you never miss any of our great tips in the future. Outside of that, guys, we appreciate you, and we're gonna catch you in the next video. Take care.